Hey, welcome back to a new second channel video. Today we're going to be ranking all of the Marvel junk. I have my list right here ready to go, and the reason why we're doing this right now is because I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I actually really enjoyed it. I've seen it twice at this point. I think it's a very good movie. Unfortunately, a lot of the upcoming Marvel stuff doesn't look very good, and some of their recent stuff has been kind of losing me, not gonna lie. So I doubt I'm gonna be checking out anything MCU related in the future, unless of course it's like a Spider-Man or a Deadpool. I don't know. But anyway, I'm kind of done with Marvel at this point, so I figured why not go back and rank all of their other shows and movies. There are quite a few of them, so here's my updated ranking and scoring of all of the MCU movies and shows and stuff. So, bottom of the list, we got She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, or as I call it, Shulk, actual garbage, 0 out of 10. I don't like this at all. This was the one that broke me. This was the show that made me go back through all of the other Marvel movies and shows and stuff, and, caused me to reconsider their quality a little bit. Yeah, not good, 0 out of 10. Next up, we got Captain Marvel, 2 out of 10. I don't like this one. This one's boring and stupid and just dumb. I don't like it. Next up, we got the I Am Groot shorts, 4 out of 10. Yeah, they're alright. I hate Baby Groot, though. I'd throw that thing in a blender if I could. Next up, Thor the Dark Thor. 4 out of 10. It's boring. I don't like it. It's forgettable. It's boring. I don't care about any of these characters, except for Kat Dennings. She can stay. Black Widow, 4 out of 10. I don't know what to say about this one. Too late. 9 years too late. 4 out of 10. Next up, Miss Marvel. I like the actress. I think she's cool, but the show itself was kind of forgettable, and there's a lot of missed opportunities in this one. 4 out of 10. Next up, What If? 4 out of 10. I don't really care about this one too much. I can't really remember any of the episodes except for the zombie one. So yeah, the animation was also kind of interesting, for the first animated project in this series of whatever. It's all right. 4 out of 10. Moving on. Next up, Thor: Love and Thunder. 4 out of 10. I was kind of in denial when I saw this one. I wanted it to be good so bad, and I had myself convinced for the longest time that it was good. But the only good thing in this film is Christian Bale, and when it ended, 4 out of 10. Next up, Eternals. Yeah, Eternals. It has some cool visuals. I like some of the characters, and I hate all the rest of them. Yeah, 5 out of 10. Kind of boring. Can't remember it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked some stuff in this. I hated the villain. I liked the not Captain America that killed the guy with the shield. That was cool. 5 out of 10. Black Panther: Wakanda Whenever. Also 5 out of 10. This movie's a mess, man. I can tell it didn't know what it wanted to do. Following a real-world tragedy that sucks, that's terrible. You probably could have recast it, in my opinion. Why would you take away the character of Black Panther? But, whatever. 5 out of 10. WandaVision, 5 out of 10 as well. Started off really strong, ended really weak. I hate the ending so much. The last episode ruins the entire show. Almost. Next up, Black Panther, the first Black Panther, 5 out of 10. Some people might say this is too low. I disagree. This movie is the most overrated MCU movie. Black Panther was cool in Civil War. Why does he suck in his own movie? Why is this movie boring as heck? Couldn't tell you, but too many people overhyped this one. 5 out of 10. It's pretty middle of the road. The Incredible Hulk is next. 5 out of 10 for this one as well. Kind of underrated in my opinion. Definitely not a good movie, but kind of like a hidden gem throughout this series of garbage. It's not bad. It's not too bad. Edward Norton is a weird choice though. I liked that they recast it. Next up, Thor Ragnarok. Also 5 out of 10. Love and Thunder made me hate this movie. I hate Taika Waititi now, and I can't watch this movie anymore because all I see is Love and Thunder. So thanks, Love and Thunder. You ruined Thor Ragnarok for me. 5 out of 10 for this one. Next up, the first Thor. Also 5 out of 10. All the Thor movies are either boring or stupid. This one is kind of in between. Next up, Hawkeye. Also 5 out of 10. Those 5 points are directly because of Haley Steinfeld. If she wasn't in this monstrosity of a show, this show would have gotten 0 out of 10. They ruined Kingpin. Next up, Ant-Man and the Wasp, 6 out of 10. Another underrated gem. I don't know why people hate this one. It's pretty fun. It's not great, but it's also not like downright terrible. There are certainly worse movies in this series. Next up, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, otherwise known as the one with MODOK in it. Also 6 out of 10. Those 6 points are directly because of MODOK. If he wasn't in this, again, 0 out of 10. Next up, Iron Man 2, also 6 out of 10. Another underrated gem this one is. You got Mickey Rourke, I Want My Bird. Enough said. Next up, Avengers Age of Ultron, 6 out of 10. I'm trying to remember what happened in this one. Oh, you had the Robot Man. All right, Robot Man, he's pretty cool. I don't mind Robot Man. You also had some cool fight scenes and a couple more useless characters. All right, Loki is next. 6 out of 10 for Loki. Again, started off pretty strong, ended pretty weak. That's a running theme for most of these Disney Plus shows. Maybe they should just stop with the Disney Plus shows. Next up, Moon Knight, also 6 out of 10. Same deal. Started off strong. That first episode is like top tier Marvel, but all the rest of the episodes kind of suck, especially the ending. They cut out the entire final battle. 6 out of 10. Next up, Doctor Strange, 7 out of 10. Cool visuals. I like the Doctor Strange character. And yeah, the villain's kind of stupid, but overall the movie's fine. It makes for a fine rewatch. 7 out of 10 for Werewolf by Night as well. The next one here, Werewolf by Night. For the first Marvel special, it was pretty cool. They should make more of these specials. They should stop making shows for every single character. Just make a 45-minute special. That's pretty much all you need. Next up, Captain America, the first one. 7 out of 10 for the first Captain America, the first one. I like the World War II setting. Big explosions, and you had Captain America in World War II. Very cool, very cool. 7 out of 10. Next up, Spider-Man Far From Home. You had Jake Gyllenhaal in this one. He's cool. You also had Spooderman dealing with Papa Stark dying, so I liked that. 7 out of 10 for this one. Not the strongest of the Tom films, but definitely not the worst Spider-Man movie in general. Next up, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. 8 out of 10 for this one. I actually kind of liked this one. Kind of another underrated gem, I feel, for the recent Marvel movies. It has some cool action, some cool fight scenes, some cool martial arts. I also like the villain. And then the end of the movie is just a big CGI battle. That's where it loses me. But 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Shang-Chi. Next up, Spider-Man Homecoming. The first Tom Holland Spooderman film. It's not too bad. 8 out of 10 for this one, I'd say. It's a pretty good movie. It's pretty fun to rewatch every now and then. Yeah, it's pretty nice and wholesome. You got Vulture in there as the villain. Yeah, I like it. Definitely not my favorite Spider-Man movie, though. There are some things that I would change. Next up, The Avengers, 8 out of 10. A lot of people put this one near the top, and I suppose it's pretty high for me, but it's definitely not in my top 10 or anything like that. It's cool, but I have no nostalgia for this one. I kind of started watching all the MCU junk after the Avengers hype was over, so 8 out of 10 for this one. It's a cool crossover, but I don't really have that big of an attachment to it. Next up, Iron Man 3, 8 out of 10. A lot of people hate this one because it's not like the comics. Well, guess what? Neither are any of these other movies. Why do you guys hate this one specifically? It makes no sense. Iron Man 3 is fun. It's a good Christmas movie. Watch it around Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special. Also 8 out of 10. This was fun. I liked this one. I can't really find any flaws with it, but I don't want to put it above any of the actual like movies that I have above this one. So just know this one's pretty perfect. I like how they kidnapped Kevin Bacon. That was fun. Next up, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. 8 out of 10. Yeah, this one was alright. I liked Sam Raimi's style of directing, but I don't know, I could tell he didn't have full creative control. It didn't feel like Evil Dead as much as I wanted it to, but it was pretty good. I liked this one. It was pretty spooky, pretty scary, and you had Jim Halpert in it, so yeah, 8 out of 10. Next up, Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man, another underrated gem from Marvel. Even though they basically stole a lot from Edgar Wright, I still thought the movie was good. Paul Rudd is awesome as Ant-Man. Unfortunately, the other Ant-Man films kind of didn't really do what made this one special. So, 8 out of 10. Very small scale movie. Pun totally intended. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah, this one's good. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Guardians 2. I liked it a lot. I liked the Guardians. The only thing that I didn't like was some of the early stuff in the movie. But the movie picks up pretty quick and becomes pretty good by the end of it. I liked Kurt Russell. He was fun. Next up, Captain America Civil War, 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Some of the effects are kind of bad. Some of the visuals look pretty bad, but the story is good, and it's fun watching the Avengers slap each other around an airport. 9 out of 10 for me. Next up, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Very good. 9 out of 10. This one is fantastic. The only thing I don't really care for is the villains. They're kind of weak, aside from the Winter Soldier, of course. He's the best. He, them boys. Also very good action as well. Very gritty. I like this one. The rest of the MCU should have been like this movie. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah, this one was fantastic. Like I said, 9 out of 10 for this one. The only thing that I would change is maybe the soundtrack, and some of the jokes didn't really land for me. But overall, very good finale for these characters. I've seen it twice, and I loved it both times. Very good. Very good. Very surprisingly good. 9 out of 10. Next up, Avengers Infinity War. Also 9 out of 10. I liked this one a lot. This is the Thanos movie. Thanos brutally murders half of everybody that exists. I wish I was part of the half that died, not gonna lie. But overall, very good movie. I liked it a lot. Next up, we got Spooderman, No Way Home. 10 out of 10. Perfect movie. We start to get into the perfect ones here. Only 4 that I gave a 10 out of 10 to. I saw this movie 7 times in the theater, and Tobey Maguire makes me cry every time. Next, Avengers Endgame. Yeah, it's the big finale. Probably should have ended it here. Everyone was cool in this movie, and it has some really good moments. Kind of made sitting through everything else here pay off in a big way. But yeah, they probably could have ended it here, I think. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one is very good. Very good soundtrack. It's a 10 out of 10 movie for sure. Very good soundtrack. I like the characters. Yeah, just a good time. And finally, for the first one, the one that I like the most, it's the first Iron Man. Spoilers. 10 out of 10 for this one. Yeah, the one that started it off is the best one. It's very simple. The effects still look good. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing as Iron Man. And yeah, I got nothing to complain about regarding the first Iron Man. Felt very grounded, very gritty. Again, kind of like that Winter Soldier vibe. I thought it was good. I like when movies feel like this. Marvel, make more of this and less of She-Hulk. Thank you very, very much. And with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much do it for my updated ranking of all the Marvel stuff. Like I said, probably not going to be seeing any of the newer stuff. Nothing really interests me from Marvel anymore. So Guardians 3 was kind of like my last hoorah. So there's my updated ranking. There's my updated scores. I don't care if you guys don't like my opinion. It's my opinion at the end of the day. You guys are not, supposed to agree with it. So feel free to leave your hate comments, drop your dislikes, and we will see you guys again in the next one.